Hey honey, watch day Midgard. My name is Michelle from Throw Once Another Letter, and today I'm going to be talking about some books that my elders from the Social Distance Powwow suggested to me. And so to everyone on the Social Distance Powwow group that has been waiting, anticipating for me to make this video, I'm so sorry that I made you wait. Like the heck, this one So I posted back in, I think it was June or July, I posted and I was like, hey, what are some of your favorite books? And what is something that you really liked? And I got a ton of replies. I highlighted, I made notes. Trust me, I will be getting to all of these at some point, so don't worry. This is just the first one, and honestly, I really wanted to have a lot of these books before I did this video. However, money's been a little bit tight, and I just want to worry about groceries, and so I'm going to get into it. Here's 10 authors. They are in no clear order, so if you find one on here that you're like, what the heck, this author wrote like 10 books, and this author only wrote one book, I apologize. However, this is just the one that I was like, I wanted to talk about these, and then I also saw some that I'd never read before that I wanted to talk about. So let's get into it. So the first one that we have is They're There by Tommy Orange, specifically because Tommy Orange, I believe that's the only book that they have out. They're There talks about blood quantum and the way that Native lives are daily affected by intergenerational trauma and also just trauma in general. The book is about a big Oakland powwow in, I believe it's Oakland, Oklahoma. Gosh, I'm so sorry. It's set, what is Oakland, right? Anyway, it talks about native versus urban versus traditional, mental health, mental illnesses, the trauma that happens on a reservation and in daily life. And also, I just found it to be very good. I read it last year. It was so good. Peak literature. I cannot wait to see what else he writes because it was just that good. The next author that we have is Louise Erdrich, and she has written a ton of books. I read The Night Watchman earlier in February, and I absolutely, I thought it was gorgeous. She has gorgeous writing. It touches on missing, murdered Indigenous women because one of the characters is actually missing. And it also touches on the termination of reservations and tribes. If you don't know of what that means, sometimes the government evaluates the tribe in money and the way that government treaties are, and some of it's just because of greed and the government being terrible, and they terminate the tribe, and so everything gets cut off, shut off, gone. I cannot speak to a tribe's termination, so if you are watching this and you can explain that a little bit more, and obviously better than I can because I don't know what that's like, please post your comment down below and I will pin that, because I can't imagine what it would be like to have my tribe just wiped off the face. So yeah, but it was some gorgeous writing. I passed it on to my mom, and my mom read it and she really enjoyed it too. So the next book that we have, the next author that we have is Velma Wallace, specifically Two Old Women. I don't have a description. This is just off the top. So definitely check into that. The next book that we have, the next author that we have, I keep messing up. So the next author that we have is Robin Wall Kimmerer, and she, specifically Braiding Sweetgrass was one of the big ones there. So check into that. The next author that we have is Richard Wakamese, who wrote specifically, I believe, Indian Horse. And I have not read it yet. I have not watched the movie yet, but it does center around residential schools and the way that that has traumatized a certain character and how that channels into their love of hockey. And so I find that that's, unfortunately, a lot of Indigenous literature is like dipped and soaked into trauma and reliving our trauma and into trauma and intergenerational trauma and the way that things affect us on a day-to-day basis. And sometimes I can't take it. Sometimes I can only go like from spot to spot, and that's it. The next author that we have is Stephen Graham Jones. Stephen Graham Jones has a book, Mongrel, Mapping the Interior. There's another one, but I can't remember what it's called. And then Night of the Mannequins is supposed to be coming out soon. And then we have The Only Good Indians. I read that one, and it was really good. I didn't like it at first because of like some of the things that happened, because it's really gory. But after hearing his interview with Autumn from Chapter Maliumkin, I will definitely want to delve more into it. I'm just not forcing myself into reading it, but I'm just like, there's gonna be stuff. I think it was just because I was unprepared for it. I didn't know what kind of author Stephen Graham Jones was, and so when it was just like boom in my face, it kind of scared me a little bit. Which it's supposed to, obviously. But there were a lot of connotations to Native life that I personally could relate to, and that's a big common theme in certain Indigenous literature, that if you're not Native, then there's some things that you're not going to understand, but that does not mean that it should diminish your experience reading the book. You shouldn't read a book just because it's supposed to be relatable, okay? So just remember that going in, because I'm not going to lie, there are some of my favorites that read The Only Good Indians and were like, oh, I rated it 3 stars because I didn't really like it, and I don't know, I just didn't get it. I literally want to punch you in the throat. Like, next time I see you, I want to punch you in the throat. Like, that's just how upset it was. So please air of caution into this book. The next author that we have is Rebecca Roanhorse, and she has Trail of Lightning, Race to the Sun, and then Black Sun is coming out in October, which I'm very excited for. I got a copy via Saga, so her Trail of Lightning is dystopian. Race to the Sun is a middle grade from Rick Riordan Presents, and that has like mythology in it. And then Black Sun is a sci-fi. So I'm excited to see where it goes, because I've never read a sci-fi before. The next author that we have is Shiri Dumoulin, and she wrote The Marrow Thief, which I've never read The Marrow Thieves, but after seeing a lot of my Indigenous friends that posted reviews and things like that, I definitely need to read it. I'm not comfortable with dystopian or sci-fi, so that plays a really big role. However, there are probably some things that I could probably personally connect to that a non-Indigenous reviewer definitely probably couldn't. So I definitely want to get into that. And then they also sent me a copy for this in, I think it was June or July. They sent me a copy of Empire of the Wild. So I have to just like, tell me to just get on it, because I am realizing how defective I am as a Native kid reading Indigenous literature. So the last one we have, I had to look up the pronunciation because I don't want to get it wrong. When I was trying to pronounce David Whedon's Tribe, I messed up so many times. There's even a mess up in one of my videos. So how to pronounce his, it's Sichanhu. It's more of like the throaty, like the French thing, and I just stood there and I sounded like an absolute imbecile for like a good 10 minutes trying to pronounce that. But you know what? The point is that I'm trying. At least I didn't just pronounce it without any knowledge, because I hate when people do that. So the last author we have, and I want to apologize to my Ojibwe Anishinaabe friends if I get this wrong and you're sitting there like, oh my god, we don't claim her. We have Wobgeshik Rice. So if I get this wrong, I'm so sorry. And if I figure out the exact pronunciation, I will probably, next time I film a video and I mention his name, definitely gonna say it correctly. So those were the top, like, not top 10, those were the 10 authors that I, like, listed, like, first listed. And there's plenty more on this. There's, like, I want to say, like, 10, 15 pages of just people's comments, because I screenshotted all of the comments and then I pasted them into documents and printed them off, because everybody's thoughts are, you know, everybody's thoughts that should be considered. And I'm really grateful for the community for coming out in this way and being like, here's what I liked. And also, sorry. Okay. And so thank you also to the people that were like, hey, drop your link, I want to subscribe to you. So you'll definitely be satisfied with me, because now I finally posted this video. However, I do have plenty of content to I definitely have plenty of content to film because of the Social Distance Powwow's suggestions. So thank you so much for that. I hope you're all having an amazing day. I hope you're all staying safe. Life is too short to not read what you want to read. So go ahead, err with some caution. Always take care of yourself. Stay hydrated. And don't forget to tell the people that you love them and you care about them. And you never know what you can do if you just try. So I hope everything is going well for you. My heart goes out to you, to anybody who's struggling right now. I think we're all struggling a little bit, but definitely to everyone who is currently struggling. And thank you so much to the Social Distance Powwow. Thank you so much to everyone that had commented. You're all amazing. You're all great. And bye.